All right, y'all. Welcome back. Today we're gonna be talking about the law of attraction. Um, one second. So basically, a lot of us suffer from not understanding the attractions of the pull and pull, the push and pull attractions. Um, Whether you're biblically, scientifically, whatever the case may be, in tune, you have to understand that push and pull attractions are basically guaranteed. And the more you push, the more it pulls. But it's going to pull in the direction that you're pushing. So if you're pushing for it to come to you through detachment, then it will come to you. So basically, in other words, you have to understand that you have everything that you need, and what you don't, you don't. What you don't need, you don't have, and what you don't have, you don't need. Now, speaking things into existence basically is the law of attraction, along with understanding that the more you want, the less you have. I just want to let that marinate on you and let you think about that, because if you have something, you don't want it. And if you want something, it's because you don't have it. So, switch that. The less you want something, the more you'll have it. I mean, it's just simple. It's very much so simple. The less you want it, the more you'll have it. I know, but you're probably like, but how do I train myself to think like this, and how do I train myself to be able to deal with this? Thank you for that. Basically, there's multiple ways you can do this. For one, if you find something else that can take a hold of your attention, the things that you find passion for, everything else that you want will be drawn to you. If you stop looking and living and wanting to please yourself and want to please others, because that's what happens when you're dealing with something with a passion. Most of the time when you deal with it with a passion, you do it because you want to, not because you need to. And when you deal with something because you want to, it's not about the money. It's because you have a passion. And you need to deal with it because it's satisfying your passion. And when you're dealing with something that goes along the lines of you walking in your alignment with your passion, it will pay for itself. Say for instance, if you're motivating. Say for instance, if right now in this time of need you're a nurse and you have a passion for dealing with people, it will just pay for itself. People are going to, they're going to go out their way to help you in times like this. They're going to go out their way to do for you the things that people would not do for you if you only did what you wanted to do and not what you needed to do. Now, don't get that confused with, okay, well, what about when I want to do my passion? Okay, don't focus on the want. Focus on the fact that, okay, I got people that need me. I got people that I have to help. I got a purpose that I have to feel. Okay? This is something that I need to do. Okay? But don't look at it as if it's something that you want to do. Because basically, I don't know if any of y'all actually know about when you're dealing with business, most of the time there's a 3-month turnover rate. So when you hire someone, they're only going to be there for approximately 3 months or less, because of the fact that you could have wanted this job for 5-6 years. Most people thrive off of trying to work for Walmart. But then when they get there, 9 times out of 10, they start to feel underappreciated. Because they're working so hard, doing so many jobs, and only one person. And that's when the want is the problem. Because if you allow yourself to be in a predicament where you settle more so you know your worth, you don't get exposed to your full value for multiple reasons. Because you don't know your full potential, because you're not pushing yourself. And you don't get paid what you're worth because you're settling for what they're offering. So if you pull back on the want and not so much as I gotta have or what I need, what I gotta have, but what you need, the need is basically, it's because I need to be respected. I need to be paid what I'm worth. I need to be in a better spot than I was yesterday. I need to be able to help the people that can't help themselves. But if you stay in a want mindset, I'm going to put it to you like this, okay? Now, I have someone that would always say, you know, I hope you make it. And my first response would be always, no, don't hope. I'm good. I'm blessed. I ain't tripping. I ain't worried about nothing. Why? Because hope is a shadow of a doubt. Okay? And when you move in a want, it's basically the same thing as a hope. Because like I said in the beginning, you do not want what you have because you already have it. And you don't have what you want because you want it. If you switch that want to a need, you'll go get it. Period. It's just like you don't get up and say, I wanna pay these bills, do you? No. You get up and say, I need or I gotta pay these bills. Need and I gotta are basically in the same two categories. Okay? Because you have to do it. You have to. You gotta do it. You need to do it. I mean, well, I'm gonna put it like this. You don't have to do it. If you don't mind sleeping outside or, you know what I'm saying, bed at the bottom or, you know what I'm saying, living with someone else. If you don't mind these things, then you don't have to do it. But once you make it up in your mind that you need to do it, it's more tangible. When you make it up in your mind that, okay, I want to start eating like this, man, because it's not healthy. There's always a way for you to actually talk yourself right up out of it. Whether it's over talking it or under talking it. Over talking it as if use an example in a relationship status, okay? Man, I want a girl, man. Man, I want him, man. So now you're over exerting yourself. You're over aggressive with it. Or Man, I want to start eating like that, man. That should be good. Now you're underthinking it. But when you're smoking cigarettes or you're eating unhealthy and your life is on the line, no one comes around and tells you you should. If they really care, they're not going to tell you that you should. They're not going to tell you, no. I mean, you got some people that understand. That's we'll say that for another video. You got people that understand that the slight way is more easy to charm a snake, or to, we're not going to use the snake analogy, but it's the one that makes sense. It's easier to get a snake to act right by charming it instead of trying to be aggressive with it. Okay, but the basis of the sense that I was bringing that up for is, you're not going to, if you're on your deathbed, you're not going to talk about what you want to do or what you should do. That's going to change from that to what you have to do and what you need to do. It's going to automatically change because its relevancy is more important. It's way more to the point to where you need to do it. You understand that if you're not walking in alliance with it, it's not going to happen. But the law of attraction basis that is the most part for everything, the biggest thing for everything, being optimistic, staying positive, and speaking things into existence. Those are the top three things. Being optimistic, staying positive, and speaking into existence. Period. That's it. I guarantee if you do these three things, your life will change. But what most people don't understand is you can't just do this one day, every other day, 1 week. A lot of people are probably thinking, okay, well, but I can do it 21 days and it'll be a habit. Yeah, that's cool. But what do you do when you get to 21 days? Because if you set it up in your head to just do it for 21 days, some people will do it and change. But then you got some people that are only goal driven. That's why I tell people you have to have a goal for a goal, period, in life. You have to have a goal for a goal, okay? So when you reach one goal, you still have something else to drive you. Okay, now we can go into anything you want to say about that you feel in reference to that, because I can kind of feel some of the, you know what I'm saying, okay, but then what about if you're drawn to this, or if you don't ever feel satisfied, or you feel like you're not, you know what I'm saying, that's cool. Get that out of the way. See, automatically, right then and there, you're not doing one of the three steps. You're not staying positive. You're not being optimistic. Right there. You're already training yourself to go negative. So basically, you're depleting that mindset before you can even get a chance to start it. So you gotta stop that. Stop it. How far has that gotten you? Please tell me. Has it gotten you where you know you could be? Has it gotten you where you know you should be? Because deep down inside, we all know our potentials. We all know what we're capable of. We all know what we can fully do. But do we? No. Why? Because we get out of the staying positive, being optimistic. Okay, to me, I know some people may say those two are the same thing, right? But here's why I feel like they're different. Why? Because you can be optimistic but not stay positive. Because staying positive, to me, is a lifestyle and a way of living. Being positive. But being optimistic about a certain situation, how does that outcome come or turn when someone else that is not positive comes around? Or are you able to stay positive then? Or are you just being optimistic then? Because the optimistic can waver. A person that's just optimistic can waver. I mean, I'm being honest. I mean, if you don't like it, you're more than welcome to go look somewhere else and find somewhere else to enlighten you, or find somewhere else to empower you. I, this is that point where right now, in the time of everything that's going on, we have to give each other tough love. We have to. It's just like when your son, your child, your niece, your nephew, your cousin, your family, your brother, when they end up finna touch that stove, and you know that flame going, you gotta be hard on them. You can't talk, don't touch that, baby. You can't do that. Because there's only this amount of time before their hand gets to that fire. So if you try and talk low, soft, sensitive, they may not take you serious. They may not hear you. They may not think it's really that detrimental to their health. But at the end of the day, you're going to feel terribly bad. Because you know you could have did and said something if you didn't. Now, if you really say that you care about somebody and you don't feel bad when you don't tell them something that you know could have helped them, or when they don't listen, not so much as saying that you want to, you know what I'm saying, belittle them or whatever. If you don't feel like, damn, there was something more I could have done, you don't genuinely care about that person, just for the thought of it. Now, because we tend to become we tend to be or show empathy to the people that we care about genuinely. But people that we really don't know, we show, or the people that we care about because we feel like it's right to, but we may not know them, we may show them sympathy. But the people that you genuinely care about, like to the highest cup of tea, you show them empathy. The difference is you can feel their pain with empathy. And with sympathy, you just kind of, you understand their pain, but you don't feel their pain. So, basically, just boils down to those three things. That's the difference, and that's the reason why optimistic and staying positive is in there as well. But as long as you do those three things, man, I really feel like you'll be okay. You gotta get out of the negative mind state. You gotta stop living in fear. The only thing that you should fear is fear. Period. You have to get out of that mind state. That mind state is not taking you nowhere. It's not gonna take you nowhere. I feel for the people that really just don't know how to transition to that, because sometimes it's easier said than done. And when you've been beat down and told for so long that you was gonna be nobody, or you was just gonna be like your mother, or you was just gonna be like your father, it's hard. But I said one good time, allow yourself to really fully feel that one time. This is all you get. You owe yourself this one time. Okay? Because in life, you can either come to play, or show them folks that you ain't gonna be played with. Period. Because people don't understand that you can speak positive affirmations over people just as well. This is the part that they don't understand. Just as well as speaking negative affirmations over people. So my advice to you is, if you suffer from, okay, this is the reason why I said that optimistic and staying positive are two different things, okay? Because my next step to tell you is, if you can't stay positive when being optimistic around negative people, because they come back with non-positive responses. You see this paper? You see this? You see this paper? Get them out of there. They got to go. They got to go. They have got to go. Because if you don't get rid of these people, the first sign of a red flag that makes you belittle yourself, who can you really blame? When everything goes south. Or I'm going to say, you could blame them, but at the end of the day, when you're sitting alone and you're trying to actually get an understanding of why and what happened, who are you really going to blame? Yourself. Because you knew better and you chose not to do better. You have to understand those three things are very detrimental to your future. Very. If you're not going to stay positive, if you're not going to be optimistic, those first two alone. Okay. If you don't stay positive, you won't even be optimistic. And if you don't be optimistic, you won't even try to speak things into existence. Do you understand? Okay, good. I know you do. I know you understand. But the crazy thing is, what are you going to do about it now? Because after this is over, I can only give you my energy, give you my positivity for a short period of time. Because with me being an introvert, I have to go and recharge. I have to. Because if you don't have people around you that are constantly putting their energy back into you, when you give your energy away, you deplete yourself. Which is another reason why I say that if you can't find it in yourself to stay positive when people around you say negative, because even when you allow them to make you feel some type of way, but you say you're staying positive, or you say something in a response like, man, I ain't worried about it, you get all out of character, or you get all out of pocket, you still let them take your energy. You still let them create an emotional curve to basically kind of deplete your energy. It may have not been as much as if you was just a new beginner to this and they actually said something and you kind of just humbled down and took in everything that they said, like you just, that whole just emotional drop, that would not, it's not going to be the same thing as if you're one of those that are, you know what I'm saying, you confidently believe in yourself and you confidently know your full capability, then yes, there would be a difference. But what you have to understand is you cannot keep, excuse my French, but you cannot, no, I'm not even going to go there. You get the drift. You cannot succumb to the foolishness. You just can't. I'm sorry. You have to understand that you only get one life to live. We tend to spend more time, focused on, that's Brita, by the way, though. This is something serious. It's not sponsored, but not yet anyway, because I'm fixing to get back in my healthy kick of just basically water and everything positive. Because water is a conductor. Water is an energy source. So if you constantly take in anything that has energy or gives off energy or deal with energy, you need to replenish that energy. And even if your energy is low and you're just not sure how to resource your energy, this right here does it. So I tell everybody, stay hydrated. I just started back using it. I'm kind of still not in the habit of not having to turn it up because it has the filter in it. So you might see me turn it up and like, what's he doing? Bam. So that's what happened. But anyway, see, so like I just said it and then it still happened. But I'm gonna stop. That is it's done right now. See, I'm speaking that to existence, stand positive. But it just feels weird. Watch this. Ooh, see the power in that? See how I didn't want to explain that or didn't feel the need to explain that, and it just came to me. See how the universe will bless you when you just do what you're supposed to do. See, now watch. Something as simple as that. You got to learn to find the positive in everything. You got to learn to stay grounded, level-headed, build yourself subconsciously. You have to understand that, because if not, you're only shortchanging yourself. No one owes you anything but you. You can't make people do or treat you the way that you want to be treated. But guess what? Actually, I take that back. That's a lie. That's a lie. Because to a certain extent, you can't. But if they really want to deal with you, you can. I say that. Because what happens is, once you create self-love for yourself, and you create and raise your standards for yourself, guess what happens? If people want to deal with you, they have to deal with you where you say they have to deal with you. People are going to call you cocky. People are going to call you arrogant. But no, you tell them, I'm neither. I just know my worth, homie. And if you don't, you won't understand. So I don't fault you or blame you for not understanding. I just understand that you don't understand. Period. And leave it at that. And if you feel the negative energy shift when that's fixing to go somewhere else, just walk away. Don't even stand there and entertain. You have to stop allowing negative people to be around you. That is not getting you anywhere, bro. You have to stop being negative on yourself. You have to raise your vibrations. You have to raise your energy. You have to raise your standards. You have to raise, like, these are things that you need to do. This is not something that you should just want to do. Because at the end of the day, you got so many people that are responsible through you, that you're responsible for, that if you don't do it, no one will. You got so many people that deserve, want, need, and could have more, but will never unless you do something about it. So the moment you decide to stop being negative and stay positive, optimistic, and speak things into existence, I don't want to hear anything else about it. Because it's all up to you. The ball's in your court. What you gonna do? You gonna dribble all day or you gonna shoot the shot? Till next time, if you wanna like the video and you watch it this much, it'd be greatly appreciated for the algorithm. But I just appreciate you sticking around and checking it out. If you wanna subscribe. If you wanna leave a comment just so somebody else can know that what I'm saying is truth and that it will actually change your life. Anything else, if you feel the need, let me know. Reach out. Other than that, remember that today was another day to chase your dreams. Hustle kings and queens, and don't let nothing stop you coming between and intervene. And peace, queen, and peace, king.